Hi campers. Is it good morning or is it good night? All I know is it's about 3 a.m. Don't you just hate it when you fall asleep on the sofa? I don't know. So this is probably me for the night now, so I'm trying to find things to do at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I thought I'd make a little video. Haven't got my favourite jumper on today. Just had to go in the wash. Blinking thing would probably get up and walk to the washing machine on its own. So what have we been up to? Not a lot really. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how people are building ponds at this time of year. I go out in the garden, my hands are like ice cubes in about 30 seconds. The joys of diabetes. Yeah, stay off the sugar, kids. Doesn't do you any good in the long run. I literally go outside and my hands start burning within minutes. So fair play to all you chaps and chapesses who are out there in the garden in these frigid conditions doing your thing. People like Martin's Pond and Garden. How the heck you've built a pond through the winter, I will never know. And MAKC, yeah, MAKC, you're doing one as well. Oh, my security light just came on. Probably that damn rat. It's chewed a hole through my summer house door to get into the summer house. Very big 2-inch hole in the bottom of the door. The little swine. He found that I had a stash of fish food in there. I left the door open one evening. Silly. And now he's found it. He thinks it's his personal restaurant. Although it's not there anymore. I've moved it now. But yeah, he was so determined to get to it, he chewed a hole right through the door in an evening. About 1.5 inch thick solid wood door, and he's just literally gone straight through it like it wasn't there. Oh, yes, in other news, some of my mugs are going out to some of you lucky few. Had another couple of little orders on the website, which is good. Much appreciated. I know at least one of you is a fellow koi tuber. Every little helps, as they say. I've had no orders that will set the world on fire, but orders are orders. And from small acorns, large oaks grow, as my dad used to say. And I had a nice little thing come through the post. I am no longer a mug virgin. Skegnesspond. Stay safe and keep koi. Thank you very much, mate. If you drop me your details, I will return one of mine to you. I think you've got my email address. But drop me your details and I will send you out my very first bug. One of many, I hope. So, in other news, I went out to take the kids to school. Well, pick the kids up from school at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And noticed my pond level had dropped by 2 inches. I have no idea why. I'm hoping Ratty McRatface hasn't chewed through the liner somewhere. I had the problem midwinter of it dropping and found Ratty McRatface had chewed through the waterfall liner, so I had to bypass that. And yeah, 2 inches to a lot of people isn't a lot. On my pond it's about 2,000 litres, So yeah, there's quite a lot of water disappeared somewhere. So I'm going to have to do some investigation on that one and find out where it's going. Well, that'll be for another day. We've had a glorious day here again, lovely blue skies and sunshine. And now there's ice forming outside again. It can't make its mind up this weather. But the forecast snow doesn't appear to be on my long range forecast out here on the coast near Skeggy. So that's good news. And they're saying for the next week or so we should have temperatures 10 degrees or above. So hopefully the pond temperatures will start to come up a bit. It's been stuck at about 8 degrees for 2 or 3 weeks. But the fish are enjoying the extra sunshine. They're a bit more active. The overall pond temperature seems fairly stable. It's not going up. It's not really falling down that much even overnight. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get another couple of degrees out of it and can start to think about feeding them a little bit more. And let the filters start to catch up from the winter. What else? Oh yeah, need to get new front brake discs. Joy. Fortunately, I've got some sat here. It's just I don't really fancy 2 hours lying on the drive on my back in this cold. My hands just won't take it anymore. It's not arthritis. I don't know what it is. It must just be my circulation from the diabetes, because my hands and my feet just freeze almost instantly. The rest of it is fine. Maybe the tip of my nose gets a bit chilly, but my hands and feet, they actually get painful with the cold, even in these sort of 7-8 degree temperatures. So outdoor work for me in the winter just isn't doable anymore. So hence why my filters take a bit of a battering, or I want to do something that's a little less getting your hands wet and cold in the winter. So the mega pod build will be happening. I've spoken to the Twisted one, and we're gonna put our heads together and work something out. But I've got a plan in mind. It's just putting it together, shall we say, and obviously having the money for a couple of £100 worth of pipe fittings. Although I might be able to work something out a little bit cheaper than that using underground pipe rather than 4-inch pressure pipe, because none of it's going to be under pressure. It's just going to be gravity feed on the 4-inch side, so it'll all be above ground, and most of it will be inside the tank anyway. So I've got some 4-inch fittings kicking about, so I might even be able to cobble something together without spending a small fortune. Maybe I'll get a nice little screw fix discount, shall we say. But we'll see. As I say, when the weather warms up a bit, I'll have a look at my old filter tanks and filter bays and see what I've got on there, see if there's anything I can use, and we'll go from there. So this is my 3 AM waffle. Haven't really got a lot to report. I'm just filling in a bit of my own time, really. Oh yeah, thoughts on the web shop. There's obviously thousands and thousands and thousands of koi products out there. All the different pumps alone. I mean, if you stocked every single type of pump, you could quite easily put 20,000 quid into pumps and not blink too much. For a startup business, obviously unless I remortgage the house, that's not really an issue, a starter. Apart from anything else, I wouldn't have the space at the moment to hold those sorts of stock levels. So I'd like a little bit of feedback. And I know there's big suppliers out there that keep these things on the shelf and can post them out next day, and that's fantastic. But as consumers, would you purchase a pump on back order for it to be delivered in a week or so? Or would you just go, no, I'm going to go to Amazon and get it next day? It's a serious question, because I'm trying to look at these things sort of without the coy tax, without the huge markups that's on a lot of things, and treatments and all that sort of thing. Yes, a lot of people are doing them without the coy tax, to be honest. Although you may think treatments are expensive, they're really not that expensive for what you pay for them as a retailer. The markups on them are not massive, and to actually make a living selling treatments, you've got to sell a lot of treatments. A lot. If you were selling them at the RRP, you probably wouldn't sell very much, because you'd be paying 30 quid for something that most retailers sell for 20 or 25 quid. So I'm trying to keep the prices in the same sort of ballpark as some of the bigger boys. Some of it's a bit cheaper, some of it's a bit more expensive. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be worth selling, because again, I don't buy them by the thousand. But some of the bigger items like pumps and that sort of thing, if you were doing a pond build, would it matter to you if the pump came next day, or next week, or in the next 2 weeks? Especially if you were getting it a bit cheaper than, say, someone who could supply it next day. Because I'm debating putting some of the stuff on the website on a back order basis. In other words, I don't hold stock of it, but I can get that stock in usually within a week or two, depending on when it's ordered. The downside with a lot of the suppliers is they have minimum order values. So if that week you haven't put together enough for the minimum order value, it may have to roll over into the next week. So I'm just trying to think, what's the best way to do it? Obviously, I've got no real gauge of what the turnover is going to be at the moment, because we're nowhere near into the system. System? I meant season. You can tell it's 3 AM. So it's quite a difficult market to break into on a local scale with people driving past. It's probably not that difficult a market to break into. On the basis of being a website, because there are some very well-established names and big names like Quinnicoy, like Swell, like, you know, name any of the big shops. They have their loyal customer base, and they have 20 or 30 employees, and 3 of those are just packing parcels all day. And they're probably big enough that they've got a van that they load up, or they have one of the big couriers just come and pick up from them daily 30, 40, 50 parcels. which would be lovely, absolutely lovely. I'd love to do that, but as I said earlier, from little acorns. So I don't know which way to go about that one. I suppose the best way is to try it, but if you've got any feedback on that, it would be helpful. Now, unfortunately, there's certain manufacturers, Evolution Aqua being the main one, that are pretty much price fixing. They pretty much say, you will sell our pumps at this price, or you don't deal with us. Which is a pain, because you can't distinguish yourself from anyone else. You can't give your customer a discount because they're going to wait a week for it, and you're basically fixed into whatever profit margin they deem you're going to have off your pump. Now, I don't know, is there a way around that? Is there a way around that you buy a Vary pump 20,000 and you get a £10 gift voucher free, or something like that, where you're not actually discounting the pump? Is there a loophole in the system that I can exploit? I don't know. The last thing you want to do is upset someone like Evolution Aqua and lose being able to sell their stuff. Whether you like their stuff or not, they are one of the biggest names in the pond hobby, the koi hobby. So, yeah, I don't know. There's some suppliers that I don't have minimum order values with, and I can get the stuff in 2 or 3 days. That's never a problem. Like the suppliers of the bottom drains and UVs and all that sort of thing. I can generally, so long as they've got it on the shelf, I can generally get those in 2 or 3 days. If they haven't got it on the shelf, it takes about a week. That's not really a problem if you're talking about bottom drains and that sort of thing. I would hope if you're building a pond, you'd have your bottom drain sat there probably a good few days before you need it, or you're thinking of ordering a bottom drain a good while before you actually need it. So I don't know. Give me some thoughts. On that one. It's turning into quite a waffle, this, isn't it? 3 AM waffle. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to run through. I've noticed that when I'm watching videos, I tend to comment a lot on them. I'll put about 3 or 4 comments on, and that's to do with how my brain processes things. I'm as well as diabetic, I'm dyslexic. My brain doesn't retain information when I'm watching a video or something very long, so I'll tend to comment as I'm watching the video, so I don't get to the end of the video and then rewind back and sort of comment. I'll comment as I'm going. So if you get sort of 4 or 5 comments on your video, that's why. I apologise for feed flooding you. And sometimes I'll put a comment and then the answers to the comments will come 2 minutes later. So I then go back in and edit the comment and say, oops, should have watched some more of the video really. It's just the way my brain processes the information. It's a very instant sort of thing for me. It's very visceral. I don't tend to sit and watch the whole video and then try and remember what I wanted to say later on. I'll do it as I'm thinking about it. So if you've ever wondered why I do that, that's the reason why. I think that's probably enough waffle for now. think I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee, because I think this will be me for the night now until 7 o'clock in the morning when the kids get up. And it's the little lad's birthday tomorrow. I've managed to keep the fish tank hidden from him. Woohoo! So, Seabers. Is it Seabers or Seabeers? Or you decide. Seabers. Thank you very much for the mug, mate. If anyone would like one of mine, I've got a few kicking about. I put them in another video. Haven't actually prepared and got one here because it's a very impromptu 3 AM waffle. And yeah, drop me a shout and we'll sort something out. My email address, as ever, will be in the channel description and should be in the video description section, along with the website address. I'm going to start putting a link to a couple of Facebook groups in there as well, if I can work out how to do that at 3 AM. So until the next one, hopefully when I'm a little more awake, hopefully when it's a little less dark, might actually do some videoing of the pond instead of me sat here waffling. Nah, we'll wait till it gets a bit warmer. Alright guys, most of you will probably be snoring at this point in time. If you're not snoring, why aren't you snoring? If you're just going to bed, good night. If you're just getting up, good morning. If you're still asleep, well, you're not going to be bothered anyway. Till the next one. Bye-bye.